Well, good morning. The sun is coming up over the mountains here in western Montana. There's kind of a view over the neighbor's fence. It's a little hard to see, but anyway, a little bit. Trees kind of box us in here. Anyway, I just really encouraged and interested to see how many people are interacting with the videos, and just wanted to express appreciation for that. So I have a quick video here about how to deal with a well pump being out. And we had some power outages over the winter time, trees falling on the line, during snowstorms or whatever. And I had been thinking about how to deal with running a deep well pump. It's 360 feet deep, I'm told. And so, then you have to have a 220 generator and, way to hook it up and all that. And I was wondering about alternatives. Like, is there another way to do this? Because when we lived off grid for a while, we hauled water, all the time. And so we have some tanks and totes, which I'm going to show you here in a second, and some water pumps and different things. So is there another way to do it? And I got it figured out. So I thought I'd share this because it seems like there's lots of information on YouTube about how to pull your own pump, how to replace it, all that stuff. But what do you do for the week or however long it takes till you can get it done? So down here, like the wellhead is down under this manhole cover, and we replaced the switch just to eliminate that as potentially the problem, and used a voltmeter and tested, and definitely had 220 or 240 technically going down to the well pump. So that pretty much guarantees the problem is in the well. And you see that little short piece of extension cord, we wired that into one side of the 240, so then we get 120 on that extension cord. The neutral and the ground are under the ground screw, and then the black is under one of the hot leads coming from the house to the switch. And that gives us 110 or 120 on the pressure switch that's connected to this bladder tank and the entire house system. So that way we can connect that extension cord and run it over here to several tanks that we have. I had ordered this little 1/2 horsepower pump earlier project, actually. So here is a 350 gallon tank that you would carry in the back of a pickup truck, and the suction pulls out of the bottom, and then it draws through that whole house filter. That way I don't introduce pine needles and leaf debris and sediment and whatever else might be in the tank from hauling water over the years. I did pressure wash it really good, but there's still stuff in there. And then we're hauling water from a spring, which is really clean, but still, you're going to introduce some dirt somewhere. So this little 1/2 horse pump I got off eBay for about $50. Has a 110 cord already wired on it. This way we can plug it into that pressure switch, and now the demand is controlled by the original system for the whole house. Draws out of the tank through the filter into the pump. We had to install a check valve here because we realized every time the pump was kicking off, it was just back feeding all the pressure from the bladder tank back into the tank here. And kind of a backwards thing, you wouldn't think normally, we put a female garden hose connector here coming out of the pump, and that way you can connect the male end of the garden hose to the discharge, which allows you connect the female end of the garden hose to the hose bib on the end of the house. That way it back feeds right through the outside hose hookup. Can't get much simpler. One thing I'm thinking about is in the wintertime, you know, this stuff can't be sitting outside freezing. So we could set up it's kind of crazy. We actually have enough room here. We actually could throw one of these IBC totes right in the, what we call the mud room. But, so we've got these IBC totes on the trailer, and we run down to the spring, which is just down the road, maybe 5-6 miles, and it literally is a 2-inch pipe coming out of the side of the mountain. Somebody set it up because there's so many people around here that either it's just prohibitively expensive to hire a well dug, or you know, it's just this water is so clean and it's free. It's right along the highway here, and you will see people in there all the time. Back in there, some people have bigger tanks like this. Other people are just in there filling their drinking water jugs. And anyway, I timed it when I filled these tanks the other day. It was 22 gallons per minute flow out of a 2-inch plastic line that somebody installed into the, I guess they put a reservoir tank down in the ground where the spring comes up, and just a way to collect it and keep it clean and covered, and then it runs out. So anyway, it's wide for us. It's wide open. It's clean water. It's been tested. I guess people have tested it for, you know, purity and stuff multiple times. People I've talked to, good stuff. So we go down there, get 200. Well, each of these is 275, so that's what, 550. 550 gallons. That lasts us a couple days for sure. Large family, all kinds of stuff going on. But we fill up these tanks, bring it home, use the smallest Harbor Freight transfer pump to transfer it to the other tank. So like I was saying, in the wintertime, yeah, I live right on the highway here. Trucks are going by all the time. So in the wintertime, we could actually set up, you know, we have room for one of these 55-gallon drums, or one of these even 275-gallon totes inside. I think if we had to, we could make it fit, and then we could actually backfeed through the washing machine hookup in the laundry room. Just connect the hose right, just tee it in right into the cold water, and you know, that would be a simpler way to do it perhaps. But then well, anyway, so that's my thoughts. I just figured this is very simple, something to think about ahead of time. It's not something that everybody would have everything just laying around like we did, because as I said previously, we hauled water, so it just we actually had all this. But as something you plan ahead, a little preparation, you could have something like this set up. As I say, I was thinking like, well, how am I gonna run a deep well system, in the event of power outage? And then I was thinking, well, what happens when the well pump goes bad? So here we are. All right, well, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.